Let's talk about how to configure your email on various email clients. There are essentially three types of mail protocols: Post Office Protocol, Internet Message Access Protocol, and Simple Mail Transfer Protocol. The first two are responsible for viewing your email, whereas Simple Mail Transfer Protocol is responsible for sending your email on other mail servers. Now, it's good to know that each of these have both encrypted and non-encrypted methods of transmitting data over the internet. If a hacker was somehow able to capture your email, in case of non-encrypted data, he could be able to easily read your messages. Now, if the email is encrypted, that message could be captured. However, what it contains would appear as just a bunch of gibberish to him. So in that sense, many, if not all, of the internet mail service providers use encrypted ports, as shown in this image. So the question you're probably asking yourself right now is, what should I use, POP or IMAP? What's the difference between these two? Well, if privacy is a concern for you, with POP, your email is downloaded on your local machine. And this can have advantages and disadvantages. One of the advantages is that you get to keep your email. The disadvantage is if you're the type of person who receives hundreds of thousands of emails per day, all those downloaded emails begin to pile up and they occupy a significant portion of your hard drive. And another disadvantage is that if you try to log into your email account with another device and view a previously downloaded email, you basically can't do that. With IMAP, it's a bit different. You can use multiple devices to access it at the same time because the email is viewed remotely and it's not downloaded anywhere. It's just like viewing your email on a web browser. Okay, now let's talk a bit about SMTP. As I stated before, the sole purpose of this protocol is to send your email on other mail servers. Let's say, for example, you have a Gmail and you want to send an email to someone who has Outlook.com. When you send your email to that person, the SMTP protocol picks it up and sends it to your Gmail server. Then your Gmail server sends it through SMTP to the person's Outlook server, which then gets picked up by whatever protocol that person uses, POP or IMAP. If you want to know how to set up your email, you can just type in Google or any other search engine, for example, IMAP Gmail settings or, I don't know, Yahoo POP settings. And the first links are usually the ones that guide you through the appropriate settings. With some email providers, you have to make additional settings in order for you to use an email client other than the one provided by that specific service provider. To do this, you must log into your account and search for an option called Use Less Secure Apps. And really what this is an attempt by the service provider to say something like, we don't like it when you use other apps than our own to view your email. It's basically just them being dicks and forcing you to use their own services and applications. In reality, there's nothing insecure about using other software like Thunderbird or Microsoft Outlook. And now we reached the part where I'll effectively show you how to set up an email on these four types of email clients. Now, I've chosen these specific email clients because they are the most commonly used on a desktop. The same principle can be used if you want to set an email account on your mobile device. Most Android phones have a built-in mail client which can be used on any type of email account really. You don't need to download additional apps from the mobile store in order for you to view your Gmail or Yahoo Mail or Outlook Mail. You can simply use that built-in email client already pre-installed on your phone to access those emails. For the purpose of this tutorial, I made an AOL account, which I will use to configure it on these free email clients. Now let's start with Outlook. We'll choose the test profile and we'll choose manually set up POP or IMAP. My name, let's just say test. Copy the email address right here. Let's set it on IMAP. And because we selected IMAP, we're going to use the IMAP server, which is here. Outgoing mail SMTP, this one. Username, it's the same as your email address. That is basically your username, which you use to log in. And now the password. Before we click next, we have to go to more settings and specify the ports. And I'm guessing they're secure. SSL. So if we choose SSL, it automatically puts 993, the same port number we find here. And SSL for SMTP 465. Okay. Outgoing mail server, my outgoing server SMTP requires authentication and use the same authentication as the IMAP server, so the same username and password. Okay, now let's see if it works. The IMAP server completed and the SMTP server completed, so it's okay. We'll now click finish and we should now be able to access our email. Being that this is a new email, I don't actually have a lot of emails that it can sync to view. I have this one that welcomes me and the Microsoft Outlook test message, which was sent a couple of seconds ago. Okay, so this was Outlook. Let's move on to Thunderbird. In Thunderbird, we'll go to Tools, Account Settings, and Add Mail Account. Now I think Thunderbird has a built-in database where it stores most of the common email providers. So as you can see, it wasn't necessary for me to add all these settings manually. Mozilla just did that for me. Although I could go to manual configuration and do this manually. In this case, it's not necessary, so we just hit done. And that's it. We can now access our email. Okay, moving on. Now, I rarely use this email client. It's not so popular as Thunderbird, but I'll try to configure it to show you that it can be done almost exactly the same as any other mail client. And that's it. No server name or port number. What? Like I said, this is not an email client I regularly use. So let's see what we can do here. imap.iol.com. Okay, the port number is not right. We have to use 993 and 465. And now hopefully it will work as it should. Right, so now it works. Now I understand why I don't use this email client very often. It kind of sucks. Okay, moving on to the next one. Clawmail. This is a very popular email client for Linux users. It also comes for Windows. It's in Romanian because it's my native language and that's how it's installed. There was no option to select another language than the default system language. So there you go. Server pentru primire is the receiving server, and this is of course the sending server. No port options that I can see, so let's click apply and see what happens. port 143. Okay, it will not work. Now I think I can just get the damn thing to respond again, so I can see what the problem is. In fact, I know what the problem is, how to set it right. Okay, so I managed to configure this stupid thing. The problem was the ports, of course, and I managed to make it work by clicking advanced and selecting the correct ports right here. You have to also select use SSL on IMAP and SMTP and accept all certificates. Once you do that, your email starts to work. If you're a casual user, I don't recommend using Clawmail. It's way too complicated and it kind of sucks, to be honest. Okay, so this was my tutorial on how to set up your email on various email clients. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below, and thank you for watching.